Hey everyone, it's Jake, and today we are going to be talking about the huge drama and the issue we had within Korean server of the counter side, and resulting giving out 350 set binary to every single players within the game. So we'll go about this whole drama, which started with the Guilty Gear collaborations, and it seems like a lot of you guys are interested in why the Korean server ended up getting rewards like that big. So we'll go through and talk about what they did wrong, and why it ended up giving away that much, and how I feel about this whole issue at the end of the day. So let's jump into step by step at how it started, and let's talk about it. The first thing was the collaboration came out and they revealed that you are going to be able to farm this exclusive weapons to the characters from the collaborations. You're able to run the event stages and you're able to get a chance to get a drop on these. So a lot of people are running the stages to get the set. Whole point is, a lot of people spend a lot of time and money, like Eternium, set binary, whatever you want to call it, to run the stages and spend your credits to upgrade it and tune the device to the way they want it to be. The problem with the gear was the main thing was that for the Milia, since it was sub equipment, not sure if it was a bug or intended, but you were able to use these two of them at the same time, which is pretty OP. It really is. This is what made her really strong when she first came out. So they come out and said, well, this was definitely not intended. They decided to make it change so you can only use one equipment. So you can only imagine in like 24 hours or so that people probably spent a lot of money to run this thing. They're probably charging up the Eternians with the quartz, and other ways maybe they were spending set binary because they wanted to use it in PvP quicks, and they were upgrading using credits, blah. They used a lot of different materials to upgrade their special equipments. But after the patch, it seemed like it was the end of it. But it really wasn't, because they also had a character, the Angray soldiers, so they thought it was the end of it, but turns out this guy also has equipment that you can farm from the free contracts, so which goes into the slot as well. And some players farmed a lot of these for this character because they love this character so much and such, and it's very few player, they say, that's what the developer said. And they didn't consider that because basically this bug has existed for a very long time, but I think a lot of people just whatever, end character, it's not that OP, so they brush it up. The developers probably brush it up as well because this was the only character they're able to take advantage of this basically. So that's basically what happened. Pretty long story, right? It came to bite their ass. Like I said, if they fixed it earlier, it would have not happened. But it already happened. I don't think that's much of a problem. If they compensated right away, then it could have been a pretty big deal. But I think the main reason they couldn't compensate it right away is because the soldier also, like I said, had a gear since the beginning of the game. So they had to go and search the log data to find out what they had, how many players were spending on their gears as well since the beginning of the game. So where are we at now? Let's look at this developer notes. But cut all the crap, the main thing is the reward, and they said they're giving away all the credits and binaries and set binary and all other stuff that you spend on the gears, and they're gonna give it all back to you. Plus they will not take away the gears you have, so you can keep it as well. So they did the first right thing. But that's the normal thing, I guess. That's the thing that should have been done, and like I said, but they were going for the log data, so there was 3,138 Hamswork magazine acquisition record in the server for the Korean server, and one person has acquired up to 28 pieces. So it's pretty crazy that one person went that far to farm 28 pieces of those gears. But overall, so they were able to investigate and figure out how many of those equipments are out there, and they were going to compensate as well. So what they did is basically simple. They are giving away 160 tuning binaries extra for every Hamswork magazine that you got from the game. So if someone had a 28 pieces, that means 28 pieces times 160 tuning binary, which is a lot of tuning binary. So whoever had that 28 was probably feels like kind of winning the lottery, maybe. But that's the first part. That's the one they should have done long time ago. So they also apologized for this thing happening, and it took a long time for them to respond. I'm assuming because they have to go and search the log data where, you know, they are not the big company, so they probably have to split the resources by creating an event and doing the compensation research and coming out with the ways to, you know, satisfy players. So as an apology for this, they decided to give away set binary to every single person. So if you're totally unaffected by this, let's say you started the game after collaboration, so this would have not affected you at all. But either way, they're planning to give a set binaries to every single players. That's a lot of set binaries, and I gotta say, I take this apology, like I said, in my community page, and I'm not really here to praise them, but I think they did give away very nice rewards to everyone, as well as compensating for the actual gears that was spent and crafted and everything else. So overall, on top of it, reward side is pretty good. Like I said, they could have done this faster. I think they would have got a way more positive reaction from the players, but time's time. You know, it's their fault. They have to learn and grow. So I'm not here to praise them, but I'm here to give a pat on their back saying you did the right thing, just do it maybe a little bit better next time. And they have some extra things about dive and stuff like that, which is the usual. It's nice information, but the main thing of this developer notes was definitely about this and compensation about the all the gears and stuff like that. But anyways, long story short, basically gears, you were able to use 2 of them, and that was bugs, so they fixed it, and they outraged a lot of people because they spent a lot of money, time, and whatever other resources in the game to, you know, invest into those gears. So now, long story short, they are compensating it, and they're giving away 350 set binary to every single player. But going into futures, I hope they will fix the bug, or they will not let the bug happen in the first place, which is not possible. Rather than let it happen, take their time and do this kind of compensation reward instead. Like, this reward seems nice, but think about all the stress a lot of people probably have to went through, and it's just not a good thing. And imagine all the time they wasted, you know, going for the data to figure out exact amount and detailing out everything. It just, whole thing was a huge fiasco if you really look at from the distance. So I'm glad this was resolved pretty well, and I hope something like in this scale will never happen again. But anyways, that is pretty much it. Hope this video explained to you guys what this whole fiasco was about. And before we close up this video, I just want to mention Punishing Gray Raven. I made a community post posting this 30-50 set binary saying apology accepted. I wasn't throwing a jab at the Punishing Gray Raven, by the way. The comments did, so I would have blamed you guys for making the comments and everyone liking the comments so much. But trust me, I wasn't throwing a jab at it. It just happens to have them compensation reward right now. But now we mentioned Punishing Gray Raven, here's my short thoughts behind this whole thing. Yes, developer Kuro Games, as well as publisher, the Hong Kong Hero Entertainments, they made a bad mistake and they have to fix it ASAP. The game just launched, and this kind of drama is not something you want to have, which is a very sensitive topic. If I was a whale, I'll be very, very annoyed. I barely spent any money compared to other whales, I'm gonna say that. But like, I'm already pretty salty about it. I haven't logged in at all today, and I'm not sure if I will log in today, even the reset is only a couple hours left. You gotta manage your game. Like, humans are like, people are different now. They are aware of what's happening on the other side of the earth. If I want to talk about how pricing is so messed up in Japanese server and all the mistakes they made there, I can talk about that. If I want to talk about all the bad PR stuff they've been giving on the Korean server of the Punishing Gray Raven, I can talk about that. I'm just trying to say, global people are not stupid. I'm not trying to be like that, but if you make a mistake and if you're thinking of things quiet down, it will not go that well for your game's future. And like I said, I play many different games. All games makes mistake. There's not a single live service game I played, especially the mobile one, that has not gone through a drama or issues. Epic 7 went through so many different dramas. Counterside also went through many dramas. And Girls Frontline I played, they also had many different dramas here and there as well, especially within the servers I played, and all these different things going around here and there, like Arknights, blah blah, Honkai Impact, like all the games, different reasoning as well, and different events happening, but they all go through a same growing pain, I would like to say. Well, it's not really growing pain if that happens even after I feel like they're growing up. But anyways, the point I'm trying to say is everyone makes mistakes and you have to compensate. That's your job as a Publishers, I guess, it's a live service game. You have to satisfy your players. If you don't satisfy your players, you will not get their money. They will just leave the game. You know, it's not age of 2008, 2010, 2015. There are so many different games out there that players can choose to spend their money and time into it. So if you are the one making that mistake, you're definitely gonna lose interest. Like, trust me, I could have not spent money in Genshin Impact. Like, I promised myself to not spend much money anymore with the game because I feel like I already invested a lot of money into it, and I don't think I need to spend much more in the game because it's a single player game as well. So whatever I spend now is more like just trying to feel my hunger for the gacha in that game instead of actually getting huge benefit out of the gacha stuff. But since the Punishing Gray Raven burned down, the money I was gonna spend in the game, guess what? It went directly to Genshin Impact. See, my mentality works like that. If the Punishing Gray Raven had no problem, trust me, I would have kept spending here and dollar and there. When the new SSR character came out that I want to get, I would have definitely thrown my money in to go for the character, pull the weapons, all the stuff. But all this thing happening, I have zero interest in doing that because, like I said, if you are that's my thing. I think they're trying to think that player base are stupid. Like, never think the players are stupid in 2021. There are so many ways to gather information from other things, and like I said, I think publisher for this games have done many shading things, especially in Japanese server, and turning out to be Korean server PR is pretty bad as well. So if you're gonna ruin the global server as well, I think you will not last very long, or the game is probably not gonna close down. But the potential players and payers like myself will not spend the money in the game. So that's my feeling about it. I'm not trying to talk to the developer. I'm just trying to tell you guys about how I feel about this whole fiasco. I never really mentioned it. So that is pretty much it. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.